Hi, Garrett, RV American Dream. We are here today to show you another remodeling video. You know, RV American Dream, we love autonomy, individuality, self-reliance, and hopefully this video will help you be a little bit more self-reliant when something goes wrong. This is part of our series of how to remodel your RV. We've done a couple previous videos on how to replace a fan and how to do a tire. We blew some tires and I wanted to show how to replace those. I will put those videos here or maybe there. We'll see. Anyway, you can check those out, but this one is going to be about a slide floor replacement. So we have the Coachmen Apex 300 BHS. It's a 2018, and the rear slide floor has rotted out. It has got giant holes in it, and when we came in to our most recent spot, when I pushed the slide out, or the kids did, it ended up dislodging the floor from the wall and tweaked everything. It was a big mess. But so we're going to show how to replace that, and this video is probably not for beginners. I would say you want to have at least done something. If you want to go ahead and give it a shot. If you've never done any remodeling, I wish you luck. But there are some advanced pieces here that you're gonna be able to need in your so-called tool belt of skills to be able to get this accomplished. But hopefully I show you enough to move you to be able to take care of this this remodeling project. And go ahead, if you have any questions, do me a favor, leave them in the comments. If the video is beneficial in any way, please hit the like button. We're trying to get some more likes. We're trying to get some more followers. You know, if you get more followers and likes, YouTube gives you more features, they give you more views, and you're able to do some more things on the channel. We added a table of contents, so if you want to hop around the video and just go ahead and view the parts that you want to view, please do that. I know when I go through videos trying to teach me something, I usually hop around just looking for the exact pieces and parts that I need so that I can get back to the project and get it finished. So we added a table of contents, so go ahead and check that out. Also, at the end of this video, we'll have some other tips. I'll talk about the remodel in general and tell you how everything went. I didn't record as much of the end and putting it back together as I wanted to. Kids got a little tired. I wanted to get focused and get the project done so that everybody could sleep tonight. And so we just kind of pushed through and got it done. But just know it went back together much like it came apart, right? Again, you're going to take the whole thing apart and kind of remember where the pieces go, and then you're going to put it back together in the same way. So we just don't have a lot of the reassembly in the video, but just know it went back together how it came apart. The slide works great. We've now been using it for a couple weeks. We've moved it in and out. We've moved some spots, and we've had no trouble at all. The spot's fixed, the floor is solid, and the kids are using it daily. So the remodel went well. I think you could be very successful. And again, if you like the video, let us know. If you don't like the video, let us know too, but let us know why. You know, if you're gonna say you don't like something, let me know. I have no problem with that too. So, all right, well, thanks for watching and enjoy. All right, Garrett, RV American Dream, and boy, pulled up to our new campsite and tried to put the back slide out. Turns out the entire floor was rotted away in the slide. So let's take a quick look. So as you can see there, there's a giant hole, and most of the plywood or OSB underneath there is gone. I had already ripped up the carpet because it had stained. It was taking water, and I was hoping to last a little bit longer, and I didn't want to do this at a campground, but we don't have a choice. When I tried to put the slide out, this entire wall here separated from the base, and all of those screws ripped, and so every time we move this in and out now, it's going to be a problem. There's very little support structure along that wall, and then I would say probably right about here and over it gets better, but this corner is gone. So we're going to go ahead and replace that, and to do that, a little bit of a, I don't know, I've never done this before, and you know, we're gonna see how this goes as I go through it. But we're gonna take this bed out. I am going to remove that panel, and I'm gonna remove this panel along with all of the trim. There's a piece of wood on the very bottom here, and I'm guessing it's completely rotted. All of the screws that come in from the outside are loose, and they won't tighten up anymore. So I'm gonna have to replace this entire piece of wood here, and I'm gonna have to replace probably those two pieces that are running along the bottom there and there. So that's the plan. I'm gonna replace it with 3/4 inch OSB. That's what's in there before. That's what's in there now. Hopefully we can get some kind of cover, waterproof covering on it, whether we paint it or I glue a tarp to it. I'm not really sure what the local hardware store has, but that's gonna be the plan. So we will we'll see how that goes, and we're gonna take you along for the ride if you're interested in how this works, because this camper's only 6 years old. It's 2018, and yeah, it's that's bad. So this very possibly might be happening to you, and maybe it's an easy fix, something you want to take on, because at that point your camper's probably out of warranty and Coachman's not going to touch it. So come along, see how it goes. So it was brought to the attention that let's say you know, you've never done a remodel. I've actually done a decent amount of home remodeling, and I've done work on my house. I've done contracted work. So the fear of tearing something apart and not being able to put it back together, I have overcome, okay? And it's one of those things that I guess I kind of took for granted as a general skill that I have, but it is something that I do have. So let me just talk about that a little bit and maybe try to curb some of your fears on starting a remodel, right? If you have, now this probably isn't true of the Class A or maybe even some of the higher end fifth wheels, but travel trailers, they're pretty much kept together by glue and staples. That's it. There isn't much else, and a lot of it's almost like a movie facade where it's just kind of pieces linked together, and you kind of have to figure out how to get these pieces back together and keep it in the general form it was before. So as we're talking about this, I'm gonna just start disassembling. Now demolition is really important when you're trying to make sure that you have the ability to put it back together, and I'm just gonna work on starting to disassemble and see what's behind it. I can't get the blueprints of a travel trailer. I mean, if you're lucky enough to call the manufacturer or contact them and they send you something out, woohoo, but that probably isn't gonna happen. So I'm gonna start just disassembling pieces. I'm gonna take the trim off, see what's behind the trim, and then I'm gonna just continue working off of the pieces and see how far I can disassemble something before I lose structural integrity, right? You don't want to lose the structural integrity, and there might be some kind of pieces or part that I can't quite get to, and then I'm gonna have to get creative, right? Because I have to fix this. There's just no way around it. The slide won't continue to go open and close. I've got a giant hole. I don't want any critters. My daughters don't want any critters. Just cause a whole problem in the middle of the night. So I have to get this fixed. That's it, okay? I know that going in, and so I'm just gonna problem solve it, okay? And when you get into these things, I know that you can search blogs, you can try to find, there won't be exact situations. Yes, people have done a lot of remodeling on their camper. Yes, people have, you know, but it might not be your model, or it might be something different. But look at the context in which they solve the problem and see if maybe the context works for you, okay? So we'll see how that goes. Right now, I'm gonna work on removing the trim. This has nails because I've already had to take this piece of trim off once, and I put nails in it, but originally it had staples in it. Either one, having the right tools to be able to put this back together is important also. So you want a small compressor, maybe a brad nailer, maybe a small nail gun or a finish nail gun, something that's going to give you the ability to be able to nail these small pieces back together. You can do this by hand, but it's tough and the holes that you create are going to be so much larger. It's better if you can use a some kind of pneumatic tool or air-driven tool with these type of nails, because they're smaller. You don't create as big of a hole in the front, and I know you can kind of see the 3 holes there, but if you were to do this by hand, it would be a bigger nail, depending on the type of finish nail that you choose. So either way, a nice little pneumatic tool, air compressor with a couple handful of tools. It's a couple $100. It will go a long way. You can use it to blow up your tires, blow up balls or bikes or whatever. It's just nice to have an air compressor on the road. So yeah, so that's it. So we're just going to start taking apart all of this stuff and see what's behind, and then go from there. Little pry bar. Pry bars go a long way. Again, you don't want to damage the pieces. And you see how I'm slowly working down the board, because you don't want to pull too hard on the top, because it will it'll break the board in half. All right. Take these outside and put them nail side down. This is the screw that's screwing into whatever is here. So you can see there are screws here. I'm going to leave those for now. We're going to work on getting off these panels and see what this wall looks like under here. As you can see, there's a little bead of caulk. Most of it's already broken. You can run a razor. You can run a razor down here, but it's already pretty much separated, so I'm not too worried about it. You see it just, it broke free there. So again, I don't want to damage this panel any more than I have to, so I'm going to just very slowly work it away. And you can see it has got a massive amount of staples, and more staples. Look at that! They even put a little insulation behind there. I'm kind of surprised. All right. You can see the board has obvious water damage there, in the corner. That's gonna all have to be somehow replaced. It's got water damage here. Wow. That's a mess. All right, pull these staples out. Pull this board out. There's screws on the outside. They're gonna have to be unscrewed to get to that, because the tract, that's actually what the tract is being held to. The tract is being held here. It's being held here. And then this was holding the bed. You can see that that is the row of holes that was holding the bed. So this one here is holding the bed. You can see that all those screws that were going in there
you should show where the track
are going in there. But yeah, so we'll go we're gonna go outside. We're gonna take a look at what needs to be done outside. All right, so we're outside, and as you can see here, we've got an absolute mess. This whole thing is obviously rotted. Really bad. You can see this is the tract that is going into that board on the bottom. So that is actually supporting the slide. It's never good when your screws come out rusted, right? Obviously they're taking a lot of water. This is all right, this was the last screw, so thankfully I don't have one behind there. We've removed all the screws here, so that piece of wood's going to be able to come out now. Okay, so this is no longer connected. You can see I can pull this away now. There's no staples in it. It is just being held by these couple staples here, which I'm going to pull out, and then it's completely rotted on the other end, so I'm guessing once I tug on that, it's just going to disappear. Okay, well, we've got as you can see, the floorboard is sitting behind this piece of plywood. I'm actually going to leave this screwed in here and just cut a little notch here to remove this. And so I can get this plywood out. I'll do the same on the other side. And then I'm going to have to cut, there's screws that go up into here. I'm going to have to cut the screws all the way around real slowly to make this completely detached. And then there's some screws on the outside that I'm gonna have to take out to make sure that the whole thing comes apart, and we can replace this this floor.
Oh boy.
We are going to now try and disconnect the screws I can't get to. So they screwed screws in when they assembled it and then covered those screws. So I've got to cut them. What I've got here is a Sawzall, and I went with a really long blade because it is flexible and I can cut on a flexible. Try to get in there and just slide it very carefully. I'm going to cut one screw and then the next screw. I don't want to push this all the way through because I don't want to cut through the outside of the RV. Obviously that's a concern. Okay, so I've got to cut slowly, carefully, and on an angle, just to make sure that everything goes fine. I don't have to worry about damaging this piece of wood, but I do have to worry about damaging the outside of the RV, okay? And so that's where, you know, being real careful and making sure I cut what I'm supposed to cut is going on. Okay. So I just cut along the edge because the whole piece of plywood needs to come out anyway. So I'm just gonna, and there you go. Slides out. Okay. So now.
Wow.
Okay.
That's all. It's between us and nature.
So I'm just gonna go in and cut the screws out real quick and then figure out what's going on here. Cut that all out, make that all nice. I'm gonna have to leave that because I just don't see a way. I mean, I'd have to splice maybe another piece behind it, and I don't like leaving it because it's pretty rotted. But again, knowing how far you can take a project, it's kind of an issue too. So I've got to have this done here by tonight. So I've got to, you know, I've got to watch my scope creep on this and make sure that I can put this all back together before it falls apart. So you can see, not a whole lot going on here. You've got your rollers that this thing rolls on. You got a rubber flange. I don't even know if that's showing up there. There it is, rubber flange, and some rollers. And then all the junk that my kids have lost underneath the bed. That's a whole nother slide thing. All right, but yeah, so we're just gonna take this out. I'm gonna do some measurements. We're gonna go to the local hardware store and look what pieces we can buy. But you can see, I mean, it just, boy, it just crumbled. There just wasn't anything left there. Okay, so we got the slide out. I got rotten wood out. I'm gonna put this piece back, and then I'm gonna take the screws out from the other slide on this, and I'm gonna repair. I don't know, actually, this. I may screw. I may not remove this piece. Yeah, I may leave that. Yeah, and. But yeah, so I was able to get this out. I removed all this. I had to remove the bottom exterior trim piece. I had to remove that to actually get to this because it's screwed into it all together. Went to the store. I got a piece of 3/4 inch. So they only had 3/4 inch plywood. Unfortunately, I'm kind of in the middle of nowhere, and that's all they had. So we're gonna put this back together with 3/4 inch plywood, and I'm gonna shim it by 1/4 inch to get that inch, to get it nice and tight. I think 3/4 inch will hold. It's more than the floor of the RV, I think, structurally, so I don't think there's gonna be any problem there. So with that said, let's start putting it back together and show you how I do that, and go from there. But yeah, so far so good. Alright, so I got these strips, painted them with exterior paint. This time we're gonna have a little bit of coating on them. Maybe they'll last a week longer. I don't know. I'm going to put some screws in them, and to do that I'm going to pre-drill. Whenever you're pre-drilling, you want to drill out the post, which is the inside part of the screw, instead of the threads that catch. Okay, you want to have a drill bit that's big enough to drill out that post. So if you just put the drill bit in front of the drill, the screw, and then if you can't see it, it's good. If you go the other way, you should be able to see just threads of the screw. So this is a good size here to be able to do what I need to do. So just put this right here behind there. What? Yeah, go ahead and paint those up too. Okay, so what we're going to do, this piece of plywood has to come in. It's going to turn. Okay, so it's going to come in this way, and then it's going to go up, and then it's going to turn. We're going to lay it flat, and then it's going to slide in. Okay?
Okay.
That's the plan.
Alright.
Just roll right on here. This cord, you have to make sure stays down there. Alright. Okay. All right, Nina, you ready? So I would walk around the chair if you can. No, with the plywood. I'm gonna take that. Got it. No. We grab the far end. Grab the long end. Not the short end, the long end. I've got the plywood. Let go of the plywood. Good. Now grab that end. Good. Okay. See what we're doing here? Lift up. Let me out. Okay. Okay. How's it look?
Looks great.
Yeah, I think so. That wraps up our remodel video. Hopefully it's helpful. I know that these things can sometimes be daunting. You can see that there's been problems with your RV. You don't want to take it into the dealer. It's going to be thousands of dollars to fix, and you just don't want to do it. I know that a lot of people that are out here in the RV community are very self-reliant, and they want to do this stuff themselves. And even the people that are just getting in, they tend to, this is something they want to do in their spare time, is work on the RV and make it better. So hopefully this video helped, and hopefully it advanced your knowledge a little bit and allow you to be a little more independent. So again, RV American Dream, thanks for watching.